येनाक्षरसमां नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। येन दौतागिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। अज्ञानान्धस्य लोकस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। Okay. In the previous class, we discussed these sutras. Akasavarna Didha Pratamayo Purva Savarnaha Tasma Chasona Pumsi Nadichi Dirga Jasicha Vachandasi Ami Purvaha. These sutras they deal with the Purva Savarna Dirgaha. So we shall take this Ami Purvaha again in today's class. Starting from Ami Purvaha, we are going to cover these sutras. Ami Purvaha Samprasaranacha Inga Padantadati Nasignasocha. I had planned to cover Rutavutta also, but I will cover this tomorrow. These four sutras we are going to study today. The first sutra, Ami Purvaha. Yesterday we learned this, but I taught this in a hurry, so I am taking this again. Ami Purvaha. Saptami Ekavachana, Ami, Purvaha Pratama Ekavachana, so Akaha Panchami Ekavachana of Ak from Akasavarna Dirgaha. Akaha Ami Purvaha. Consider the example of Rama plus Here, the very basic Utsarga Sutra which can be applied is Adgunaha, because by Adgunaha, if Akara is followed by any H letter, then there will be Gunadesha, Purva Parayo Ekaha Gunadeshaha. Kintu that will be blocked by Akasavarne Dirgaha. So A plus A will become Dirga by Akasavarne Dirgaha. But again, this will be blocked by Ato Gune, because when Akara, Apadanta Dakara, this Akara should not be present at the end of a Pada. It should be Apadanta, it should be Apada, it should not be a Pada. If Akara is present at the end of a Apada, and it is followed by a guna letter. This I is a guna letter. A, O, these are guna. So it is a guna letter. By Ato gune, again there will be Purva Rupa, Kshamitam, Para Rupa. This Para Akara will come as Adesha for both. But this will be blocked by Pratamayo Purva Savarnaha. Because this Pratyaya qualifies to be this Pratamayoho. It gets qualified by the word Pratamayoho, because this is Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachana Pratyaya. So it starts with H letter. So by Pratamayo Purva Savarnaha, there will be Savarna Dirga of this Rasvakara, which is present at the end of Rama. The question is, why Ato Gune is not applicable here? Since Rama is not a Pada, will not it blocks Pratamayo Purva Savarnaha? There is a Paribhasha, Purastad Apavadaha Anantaran Vidin Vadante Nottaran. Purastad Apavada Anantaran Vidin Vadante Nottaran. It means if a apavada is present before a utsarga, here atogune is an apavada, is an exception for akasavarne dirgaha. So, but it is present before akasavarne dirgaha in sutrapata. This akasavarne dirgaha is 101 and atogune is 97 and pratamayo purva savarnaha is 102. So the first sutra is Atogune, then Akasavarne Dirgaha, then Pratamayo Purva Savarnaha in the list. So this Paribhasha tells if an Apavada is present before an Utsarga, so then this apavada blocks the utsarga, and it does not blocks the one more utsarga which is present after this. We can consider between atogune and pratamayo purva savarnaha. Pratamayo purva savarnaha is a utsarga for atogune because it can act, pratamayo purva savarnaha can act in the cases where atogune is not applicable, but atogune cannot be act if pratamayo purva savarnaha is applied everywhere. That is not the case. Okay, don't get confused here. The question is atogune is an exception for akasavarna dirghaha and pratamayo purva savarnaha. The question is why atogune cannot block pratamayo purva savarnaha. So the answer is purastad apavadaha, the apavada which is present before anantaran within badante, it blocks the utsarga which is present next to it. Notaran, na uttaran, it cannot block the utsarga which is present after the first utsarga. So once it blocks 101, it cannot block any sutra which is present after 101. This 102 is present after 101. So this atogune cannot block 102. So pratamayo purva savarnaha is applicable whenever there is scope for atogune and pratamayo purva savarnaha. That is the meaning of this paribhasha. So pratamayo purva savarnaha is applicable here, but again this will be blocked by ami purvaha because there is ami in this sutra. So if you apply ami everywhere, so if you apply pratamayo purva savarnaha everywhere instead of ami purvaha, you will not find any scope for ami purvaha. So this is an apavada sutra for pratamayo purva savarnaha. So it blocks pratamayo purva savarnaha and it gets applied. So in this case, Rama plus Ram, all these sutras, Adgunaha, Akasavarna, Dirghaha, Atogune, Pratamayo Purva Savarnaha, all these get blocked and Ami Purvaha is applicable and it is not blocked by any other sutras in the Sutra Pata. So by Ami Purvaha, we have Akara followed by Akara. This Akara, the first Akara is in a letter, Akaha, Ami. This is Akara of Pratyaya, that's important. Purvaha, then both combined from Purvadesha. It means this Akara and this Akara, they combined from Purvadesha. Purva is this Akara comes as Adesha in place of these two. So it is Ramam. Similarly, Sita plus Again, will all these sutras applicable? Among these, Atoguna is not applicable because Atoguna is concerned with Rasva Akara, which is present at the end of a Apada. But at the end of Sita, there is Dirgha A. So Atoguna is not applicable here anyway. The other sutras can be applied, but they are blocked by Ami Purvaha. So this is the prakriya. This A plus A by Ami Purvaha, this Purva letter comes as an Adesha in place of these two. So A plus A becomes A Sitam. Then Ari plus In this case, eco energy is applicable. E plus A, again it will be blocked by Ami Purvaha. So whenever there is Pratyaya, then the Purvach letter and the Akara of the Pratyaya, they combine to form Purva Adesha. Purva Rupa Adesha. So E plus A becomes E. Ari plus Arim. Similarly, Nadi plus Nadim. Here also eco energy is blocked. Guru plus again eco energy is blocked. U plus A. Gurum. Vadu plus here also eco energy is blocked. Vadu. This is about Amipurvaha. So we have Akaha in the sutra. Akaha include that Rukara also. Consider the example of Matru plus This Matru ends with Rukara and it's followed by Pratyaya. Dvitiya Ekavachana Pratyaya. So we have Akaha in the sutra and we have Rukaranta word which is followed by Rukara followed by Pratyaya. Will Amipurvaha applicable here is the question. The answer is no. Because at this stage there are two sutras which can be applied. The first one is Amipurvaha. The second one is Ruto Ni Sarvanama Sthana Yoho. These two sutras are applicable here. There is a paribhasha Varnadangam Baliyaha. Varnat Angam Baliyaha. It means the Anga Karya is powerful or stronger than the Varna Karya. So here by Ruto Ni Sarvanama Sthana Yoho. This is the sutra 73110. By this sutra, there will be Ruto. Ruto means Rukaranta. If Rukaranta word is followed by Ni means Saptami Ekavachana Supratyaya. And Sarvanama Sthana. Sarvanama Sthana means in case of Pullinga and Strilinga words, it is Sut. Sum out just out. In case of Napumsakalinga, it is just and shas. If those pratyas are present after Rukara, then there will be Rukarasya Gunadeshaha. This Guna comes as Anurutti from Rasvasya Gunaha. That Gunaha comes as Anurutti. Rutogni Sarvanama Sthanayoho Gunaha is the complete sutra. So here Rukara is there and Matru is a Strilinga word. So is a Sarvanama Sthana. So at this stage Rutos Ni Sarvanama Sthanayoho Gunaha is applicable. So this Gunadesha is because of this Pratyaya. Because this Pratyaya is a Sarvanama Sthana, there will be Gunadesha of this Rukara. So we call this as Anga Karya. Anga means the part on which the Pratyaya Vidhi will take place. Because of this Pratyaya, whatever the changes that are going to happen, the changes they are going to happen on this word Matru. So the Matru is called as Anga. The Vidhi or the Karya which are going to happen on the Anga, they are called as Anga Karya. So Rutogni Sarvanama Sthana Yoho is a Anga Karya, and this Amipurvaha, it is not an Anga Karya. It is nothing to do with Anga. Whether it is it need not be Matru, it can be any just Rukara, and if it is followed by any Shabda which is it need not be a Pratyaya also, but it should be then Amipurvaha is applicable. So it is a Varna Karya. Ru plus A. We need only Ru plus Akara of So at this stage, there is a Paribhasha Varnad Angam Baliyaha. Whenever there is scope for a Varna Karya and an Anga Karya, we have to apply Anga Karya, not Varna Karya. So at this stage, Amipurvaha is blocked by Rutogni Sarvanama Sthana Yoho. So if you split the Matru, it is Mat plus Ru. It ends with Ru. Rukarasya Gunaha by Rutogni Sarvanama Sthana Yoho. Rukarasya Gunaha Ar. It is A, but by Urandraparaha, that Refa comes along with A. So it is Ar. And if you combine those letters, we get Mataram. Matru plus Sam is equal to Mataram. Mataram is the Dvitiya Vibhakti. Ekavachana Vibhakti Rupa of Matru. So this Amipurva is not applicable for Rukaranta words. Whenever there is Ru, followed by pratyaya, then this sutra is not applicable. But this amipurva can be applicable in case of ru plus if this is not a vibhakti pratyaya, if it is not a supratyaya. There are some adesha in tinganta prakarana, in tinganta prakarana there that is not a sarvanamasthana. If there is a ru which is followed by there can be application of this sutra, but I have not made slides on that. If possible, I will give one example for that tomorrow. But in case of this being dvitiya vibhakti ekavachana pratyaya, this amipurvaha is not applicable. It is not applicable for ukaranta words. That was about amipurvaha. The next sutra is samprasaranacha. Samprasaranat cha. Samprasaranat is panchami. Cha. The anurutya purvaha and achi from iko yanachi comes as anurutti. So the complete sutra samprasaranat cha achi purvaha. It means if there is samprasaranam and if it is followed by ach letter, then there will be purva rupa adeshaha, both combined to form purva. Purva means samprasaranam only. Here purva is samprasaranam. So samprasaranam plus ach becomes samprasaranam. We shall know what is samprasaranam. There is a sutra which defines samprasaranam. Igyana samprasaranam. Ik yanaha samprasaranam. Ik is pratama, yanaha is shashti, samprasaranam pratama. So it is somewhat a reverse of iko-yanachi. In iko-yanachi we get yanadesha in case of ik letters. Here in place of n we are going to get ikko. So in case of iko-yanachi it is ikaha yen. Here it is yanaha ik. So if by any sutra, if n is converted into ikko, we call that process as samprasaranam. Even that letters are also called as samprasaranam. So n means ya, vara, la, and ik means ivu, rulu. So by yata sankhya manudesha samanam, which we studied, we get yakarasya sthane ikara. Similarly, vakarasya ukaraha, repasya ru, lakarasya lu. So there is a prakarana in Sutra Pata from starting from Shanga Samprasaranam Putrapatyos Tatpurushe 13. From starting from this sutra, we have Samprasaranam in this sutra. Starting from 13 up to 44. Up to 44, all these sutras they deal with Samprasaranam. So one of the sutra is from this list is Vachiswapi Yajadinam Iti. This is Samprasaranam, Shanga Samprasaranam Putrapatyos Tatpurusha 13. This is 15. Vachiswapi Yajadinam Iti. Let us take this sutra and understand what exactly Samprasaranam is and how it is done. By Vachiswapi Yajadinam Kiti, this Vacho, this Swap, this Yajadi. Yajadi means there are many dhatus in that group. The first one is Yajjo. So Yajadi means all those dhatus in that list. All these, they get Samprasaranam. The Samprasaranam comes as Anurutti for all these sutras. They undergo Samprasaranam in presence of a Kit Pratyaya, a Pratyaya in which Kakara is It. So I am going to take this Swap dhatu from this sutra and I add Ta Pratyaya. Ta is a Kit Pratyaya. Kakara is it in that sutra and it gets deleted and Takara remains. So if we split this swap, we have Sakara, Vakara, Akara, Pakara. So by Vachiswapi Yajadinam Kiti, this Ta is a Kit Pratyaya. So in presence of kit pratyaya, this undergoes samprasaranam. It means igyana samprasaranam. End letter undergoes ik adeshah, vakarasya ukaradeshah bhavati. So at this stage, vakarasya ukaradeshah. At this stage, we have ukara followed by akara. At this stage, this sutra samprasaranacha is applied. You see, who is called as samprasaranam? I told even the adesha they are called as samprasaranam. Samprasaranat achi purvaha. Purvaha means these two combined to form purvadesha. So u plus a becomes u only. So u plus a is equal to u. So by combining the letters, we get supta. Swap plus ta, supta. Supta is the ta pratyaya in the form of swap dhatu. Similarly, if we take ta pratyaya, if we attach ta pratyaya to yaj dhatu, we have yajadinam kiti, swapi, vachi swapi yajadinam kiti. This yaj is also covered under that sutra. Yaj plus ta, if we split, then yakara has to undergo samprasaranam. Yakarasya ikaraha. Here e is followed by a. Now by samprasaranacha, this e and a they combine to form purva rupa. So it is e chakara plus takara, and there are some other sutras to be applied, and the final form is ishta. And we have some more examples. This is the section of purana pratyaya. This dat tasya purane dat. Starting from this, we have pratyayas. The one among this is tre samprasaranam cha. Purna pratyaya means they are the ordinal numbers for complete for counting, like the first, second, third, fourth. Like in English we say tell no like that. In Sanskrit, pratama, ditiya, tritiya, chaturtha, panchami, chaturthi, panchami. Like that, the forms will be derived by adding these sutras. In that section, we have the sutra tre samprasaranam cha. Before that, we have dvestiyaha. The word dvi gets the tiya pratyaya. So dvi plus tiya, it is dvitiya. Tre samprasaranam cha. It means 3 gets tiya, but samprasaranam cha, it undergoes samprasaranam also, is the meaning of this sutra. Tre samprasaranam cha. Consider trayanam puranaha. 3 plus tiya by this sutra, tre samprasaranam cha. If we split 3, it is tr e, and we have refire by tre samprasaranam cha. It undergoes samprasaranam, so it is ru. So if we combine by samprasarana cha, ru plus e, it becomes ru only, and by combining we will get trutiya. The next example is yuvan plus ta. Ta is the trutiya vibhakti ekavachana pratyaya. Yuvan is the pratipadikam. A is the drushya rupa. We have this sutra shva yuva magonam atadite. For this samprasaranam comes as anurti from this sutra vaso samprasaranam. So this sutra shva, shvan, yuvan, magavan, this undergoes samprasaranam. Atadite, when these are followed by a pratyaya which is not a tadita pratyaya. It should not be tadita pratyaya. Here ta is a supratyaya, it is not tadita pratyaya. So at this stage, this here we have 2 end letters. Yakara is a end letter, vakara is a end letter. The question is which letter has to undergo samprasaranam. There are some sutras which interpret which letter has to undergo samprasaranam. To be simple, the second letter or the later letter has to undergo samprasaranam. So this vakara has to undergo not yakara. So vakarasya samprasaranam ukaraha. So now u plus a, by samprasaranacha it is u. U plus a becomes u. Now this u plus u becomes u by akasa varane dirgha. Here one u is there, and this is followed by one more u. By akasa varane dirgha, it becomes u plus na. Yuna is the trutiya ekavachana form of yuvan. Okay, this is about samprasarana cha. Next, yengah padantad ati. Yengaha padantad ati. Purvaha comes as anurutti. So, yengaha padantad ati purvaha. It means if a yang letter is present at the end of a pada, it is padantad. We have to keep in mind. If it is followed by at here takara is added to restrict this sutra to rasvakara only. It is tapara karanam, tapara satkalasya, purvaha, both combined from purvadesha. So yang means evo, at means rasvakara, purvaha means those yang letters. So a plus o, sorry, a atava o followed by a. There will be purva rupadesha. This is. But that a and o, they should be present at the end of a pada. Consider this 1a plus asti. Here 1a, this 1a is the saptami vibhakti form. So this is a pada because it ends with sup pratyaya. Sup by sup tingantam padam, it is a pada. So this ekara is present at the end of the pada. Now it is followed by rasvakara. So here we have purva rupa. A plus a becomes a only. Sometimes we present this using avagraha chinna, this one. But if we write or not write, it doesn't matter. It is nothing to do with pronunciation of this word. Even if you write or if you don't write, it is pronounced as 1ast only. Similarly, danyo plus asmi, danyaha plus asmi. Later, the danyaha it becomes danyo. At that stage, this danyo, it is danyaha. It is also a subantam, so it is a padam. That vokara is present at the end of the pada. So this vokara is followed by rasvakara. So by yenga padantadati, it is danyosmi. Or we can write using avagraha chinna also, danyosmi. This is about yenga padantadati. When yang letters, the padanta, the yang letters are followed by rasvakara, then there will be purva rupa adesha. That yang letters will come as adesha. The alakrutyam of this sutra. Padantad iti kim. Why the word padantad? Consider this chi plus aniyar. Chi is the dhatu, aniyar is a krut pratyaya. If you add this, refa is itto, so chi plus aniya. This ikara undergoes gunadesha by sarvadhatuka ardhadhatuka yoho. So ikarasya ekaraha, che plus aniya. Now this ekara of che is not present at the end of a pada because this che is not a pada. It is not a pada. It does not end with thing pratyaya or supratyaya. So it is not a pada. Now this sutra is not applicable. Yenga padanta dati is not applicable. So the Utsarga sutra was echo yavayavaha. So by echo yavayavaha we have ekaratya ayadesha. So it is chai plus aniya, chayaniya. So chayani is the form. Ati iti kim. Why ati? Because this sutra is applicable only for rasvakara. If padantad, this a is padantad a, this is present at the end of pada, but it is not followed by rasvakara. It is followed by dirgha akara here. Vane asit. Here this sutra is not applicable. So by echo yavayavaha we have ekarasya ayadesha vanai plus asit. So if combine these two, vanai asit athava. By lopa shakalyasya, if we delete that yakara, it becomes vana asit. So this sutra is applicable only for rasvakara. The next sutra is gnasi gnasoscha. Gnasi gnasoho cha. Purvaha from ami purvaha yenga padanta dati. From that sutra yengaha kamya sanrutti. So yengaha gnasignasoho cha purvaha. It means if yang letters are followed by gnasi or gnas pratyaya, then also there will be purva rupa adesha. So yang means we know a and o, and this in gnasi and gnas the drusya rupa is as, that nakara and this anunasika ikara, they are yukta. So in both in case of both pratyas, the as is the drusya rupa. In both the cases, if yang letters are followed by these two pratyayas, there will be purva rupa adesha. This a plus akara of this as, they combined from purva rupa, that is a. O plus as becomes os. This is. So the question is, why not why this yenga padanta dati is not applicable here? Because a is followed by akara, here also o is followed by akara. These are yang letters. It should be, they are followed by rasvakara only. Why this yenga padanta dati is not applicable? Because this is the case of apadantat yengaha. The previous sutra yenga padanta dati is applicable for padanta yang letter. But here, when these letters A or O are followed by gnasi or gnas pratyaya, they are not pada. Consider here Ari and Guru. Ari plus gnasi or gnas. In this case, this Ari is not a pada because these pratyayas are added now, but this Ari it doesn't end with supratyaya. We have just added the once we add whatever the form we get after adding, that is pada, but this Ari is not a pada. So this is not a pada. So yenga padanta dati is not applicable because since it is not a pada, yenga padanta dati is applicable for padas. This sutra is not that sutra. Yenga padanta dati is not applicable. So this sutra is for apadantat yengaha. So apadantat yengaha. For that, this sutra is constructed. Ari followed by gnasi or gnasva. So when that rasva ikarasya rasva ukaras rukaranta words are followed by nit pratyaya, the pratyaya in which nakara is sipto. Nit supratyaya, then there will be gunadesha by the sutra Gher niti. This is the sutra. Ghehe niti. Niti means the pratyaya in which nakara is sipto. Gi means rasvaikara, rasva ukaranta words. We are going to study what is gi in later classes. By this sutra, there will be gunadesha. So Ari becomes Are, and it is as in case of both gnasi and gnaso. So here by gnasi gnasoscha there will be purva rupa adesha, purvaha. Yengaha gnasi gnasoha cha purvaha. So a plus a becomes a only. So ares and sakarasya visargaha arehe. Arehe is the panchami and shashti vibhakti pratyayanta form in ekavachana. Guru plus gnasi or gnas, here also there will be gunadesha. So guru becomes guru followed by as. So here also o followed by a. So there will be purva rupa adesha. So o plus a is equal to o guros and sakarasya visargaha guroho. धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः महोदय.